Yo, what's up? Welcome to the Infinite Abyss. I'm not sure how or why, frankly, you're here, but since you're probably in it for the long haul, why don't I show you this cool book project I made in this book I found floating around in here. It's called Space Case, and it's made by some guy called Stuart Gibbs. Huh? My name? I can't read, but it probably says it here. What? Why are you looking at me like that? Haven't you ever seen someone make a book project without knowing how to read? Okay, so in all honesty, I haven't finished this book project yet, so just give me a second, will you? Alright, so according to this manual I conveniently found with this book, apparently I need to add a summary to the project, so let me just, there we go. Ta-da! May I present to you the summary. Dashiell Gibson is an ordinary kid, except for the part where he lives on the moon. Life on the moon, however, isn't all it's cracked up to be. Having fun on the moon base is not allowed, but things get just a bit more exciting when one of the top scientists turns up dead. Dashiell knows something is off, but nobody believes him. Was his death really just an accident? And if it wasn't, can Dashiell prove it wasn't? Okay, what's next? Oh, the character profile. I have to draw a picture of the main character. No worries, I happen to be an expert artist. And presto! It's pretty magnificent if I do say so myself. Next, in accordance with that one manual from exactly a minute ago, there are still a few things left to do in this step of the book project. Let's see. Who are the main characters? Dashiell Gibson, duh. Kira, his 12-year-old girlfriend, best friend, not anything else. And Dr. Holtz, the guy who was sort of, kind of, maybe accidentally on purpose, brutally murdered. With that out of the way, we must now discuss their motivations. I would love to tell you all about their motivations and how they change normally, but the manual mandates that I present my information to you using the ACE writing strategy in the form of a paragraph. To start, Dashiell and Kira are only attempting to solve the mystery because they're bored. However, over the course of the story, that motive changes. Around the beginning of the story, Dashiell mentions that solving the mystery might be something exciting to do up there for a change. On the contrary, towards the end of the story, Dashiell and Kira are putting their lives on the line to save the rest of the base. Once they'd gotten to that point in the story, they realized just how serious things were. They knew that people's lives were in danger, and they knew that they were the only ones who could stop the murderer. Listen, before we move on, I have something to confess. Remember when I said I didn't know how to read? Well, I do know how to read. Please forgive me. What? You don't care? Alright, cool, let's move on. So far, we haven't really gone very deep in the story. Let's fix that, shall we? Introducing the plot diagram.
As you can see, the diagram is in 5 parts. The exposition, rising action, climax, falling action, and the denouement?
Wait, let me Google this real quick. Oh.
We shall begin with the exposition. The story starts with Dash on the space base, finding out about Dr. Holtz's death. So let's put that in for exposition. Secondly, the story builds up when Dash is searching for the killer. So that'd be the rising action. Third, the story reaches its peak when Dash and Kira are almost killed while romping around outside the moon base, which probably means we should put that in. Space Case begins to wind down when they find out it was Garth Grisan who did it, thinking it was for the good of mankind. And last but not least, Space Case reaches its
Denouement.
when Dash finds out what Dr. Holtz's discovery was, and
Spoiler alert warning.
his discovery was that aliens were real.
Not too shabby, me. Not too shabby. I'm reading this paper, right? And it's telling me to visualize the setting. in color. Using my unparalleled observation skills, I'm pretty sure this means I have to draw the setting of the book out. Hold, please. Voila! No need to compliment it, I know you're at a loss for words at its beauty. Moving on, how do the setting and events in the plot affect characters and their development throughout the text? Must respond using ACE writing strategy. Here we go again. The setting develops characters by showing there is no way for them to leave. The characters are forced to solve the mystery or find themselves as the next victim of the murderer. The events also play a key factor in developing the characters by showing them the mortal danger they're in. Near the end of the book, following a threat, attempted murder, and another attempted murder, Dash begins to see the situation for what it really is, and that he needs to take it more seriously, which in turn leads to him finding the culprit. That wasn't so bad. We interrupt your regularly scheduled book project programming for Fast Facts About Books and Stuff, and Junk. Hi, I'm Joe John Jiminy Johnson, Esquire III, but my friends call me Todd. Don't call me Todd. And you're watching Fast Facts About Books and Stuff, and Junk. What exactly is this about, you may ask? Well, it's in the name. Without further ado, let's get this show started, shall we? Did you know that the life expectancy of a book is probably greater than that of a mosquito's? And get this, books aren't edible. Crazy, right? On top of that, 1 in 6 books are lonely. On to the next segment. This one's interactive. You'll have to guess which fact is false. Here we go. Time's up. Let's see how you did. Yikes. I'd hate to be you right now. All of the answers were correct. Seriously, dude, that was just common knowledge. Well, that's all the time we have left for today, folks. Tune in next week for more fast facts about books. And, oh, forget it. Huh. I wonder who that guy was. He seemed kind of handsome, though. By the by, we've hit the halfway point in the project. Yippee! Anywho, we should probably get down to business. What are 2 themes in the story, and how are they developed in the text? Must respond using ACE writing strategy, and a visual representation of the theme? Going for a triple whammy on this one, I see. Fear not, for I am not one to back down from a challenge. Although I may need a minute to draw the picture. You know the drill. Alright, let's do this. 2 themes expressed in the story are justice and courage. Dash seeks to bring the murderer to justice throughout the story, and has to call upon his courage to get past the obstacles in his path. For example, to catch the murderer, Dash has to go outside the moon base for a piece of evidence. Very dangerous, mind you. Adding on to what I said previously, before Dash goes onto the moon's surface, he has to realize that justice must prevail in order to preserve the integrity of the base. Therefore, what he is doing has to be done. Oh, and by the way, here's my swagalicious drawing I made. Hey, have you ever thought about just how insignificant we are? We each make up just a small portion of our communities. Our communities make up a small portion of our cities. Those cities make up a small portion of states. The states we live in make up a small portion of our countries. Those countries we live in make up a disregardable portion of our continents. A continent makes up a tiny piece of Earth. Do you see where I'm going with this? Each and every single one of us make up less than a millionth of the rock we call Earth. That rock, Earth, takes up less than 0.5% of the space in our solar system. Our solar system is one of almost 4,000 in our galaxy, the Milky Way. All of the stars we see at night take up less than 0.01% of the Milky Way. The Milky Way is one of 2 trillion galaxies in the known universe. With all this in mind, it can make one feel small. But who cares? We're here for a book project, not an existential crisis. Let's get this show on the road. How does the narrator reveal characters' perspectives about events or other characters? Through Dash and his questioning. He manages to find everyone's perspectives on who could have killed Dr. Holtz, even if they didn't think he was murdered. How do the experiences of the characters shape their perspectives? Well, every time that Dash feels that he's found the culprit, a new lead comes rearing its ugly head towards Dash, and he has no choice but to follow that instead. The other characters are also unconvinced that Dr. Holtz is murdered, but after Dash shows them the evidence, they believe him. Last but not least, how does the author develop the perspectives of each character? By putting them in situations where what they think is right is tested, such as the scene where Dash proves that the murder of Dr. Holtz to everybody. Easy as pie. This is it then. The end of your journey is at hand. Were the last 11 minutes worth it? Did you learn anything? Truthfully, it doesn't really matter what you said, as long as you were honest with yourself. Because now, your journey ends. What types of figurative language appear in the text? Where? To have this make more sense, you're gonna need some context. At just about the halfway point in the book, Dash and Kira discover the footage of Dr. Holtz being forced out of the airlock. He doesn't have his spacesuit on correctly, yet it looks like he knows this at the same time. He looks very depressed. This is due to the fact that Garth forced him to walk out of that airlock by threatening his granddaughter's life. With you all caught up, we may answer the question now. On page 158, the idiom "friends in high places" is used. Along with this, on page 167, the idiom "spring in his step" is used as well. How does the use of figurative language give the text deeper meaning? Well, "friends in high places" shows that if Holtz didn't comply, he'd be able to carry it through with his threat. This left Holtz with no other option. Accompanying this, "spring in his step" refers to Dr. Holtz's happiness on the moon base, at least before the whole murdering thing. This is said to contrast his sulkiness when he's about to die, adding a whole new layer of complexity to the sentence. And with all of that said, I pronounce this book project finished! You know, it's the little things that matter in life, right? Like this book project, for example. It was tons of fun to make, but once I finished it, that was that. What I'm trying to say is, don't take things for granted. You hear? Alright, life lesson over. Peace!